a podcast to honor the gods.
This better come with a sacrifice.
Dave X Media.
I looked towards the top of the monument, and in the duat I saw chunks of pyramid flying skyward, and the souls of demons lifting off like fireworks. As Set's chaos magic dispersed, all the force that had been charging up, ready to destroy a continent, was being sucked into the clouds, and as I watched, the chaos tried to form a shape. It was like a red reflection of the Potomac, an enormous crimson river at least a mile long and 100 meters wide. It writhed in the air, trying to become solid, and I felt its rage and bitterness. This was not what it had wanted. There was not enough power or chaos for its purpose. To form properly, it needed the death of millions, the wasting of an entire continent. It was not a river. It was a snake.
Welcome to Of the Eldest Gods, where we discuss Rick Riordan's role as our godly parent.
I'm Raye, following the path of Geb.
And I'm Charlie, following the path of Bast.
I'm Isabelle, following the path of Thoth.
Welcome back!
I did it. I did it so
You're
good.
back!
Yeah.
She is fabulous. She is queen. She has purple hair now.
Yeah,
it slaps.
I still write music sometimes.
All that matters is that you made our beautiful music, so...
Literally. And I will continue making you music as long as you want.
I have thoughts and feelings about Heroes of Olympus music and how that should be revamped.
John Williams
But I
style.
gotta...
Just like full orchestra.
See, I was thinking going more like rock, like.
Oh damn!
Ooh,
Oh,
interesting.
fascinating.
My earnest direction to take that is like military. Do
Mm.
like a marching drum situation.
Yeah, totally.
I don't know. We'll talk. You've got two more
that's
books
a teaser
in this
for all
series.
of you, I guess.
My brain was just like, things are amping up. We need to get some.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Rock
some
is
good
not a
vibes in
bad
there.
direction for it.
Mm-hmm.
I think my brain just comes about all of the different songs people associate Heroes of Olympus with, but that's not what we're here to talk about today. We're still talking about Kane Chronicles. We're still here.
We're gonna
still
be
doing it.
here for a while still.
Why are we here?
I think we're here for another chapter of the Red Pyramid. Isabelle, you haven't been on since chapter 4.
God damn.
It is now chapter 40.
Okay. Book has so many chapters, and it's
Yeah.
not very long.
Yeah, you were our first guest. You are now our last guest for this book.
That's how I like it.
We love it. We love to see it. Tell us about some of your thoughts on this book, since it's been a while.
So here's the secret.
Okay.
I read this book years ago, and I loved it. I really love the Kane Chronicles. I think the world building there is so rich. I think it's much richer than the world building in Percy Jackson in some ways. There's a way more defined, wider world outside of our characters' experiences. And then recently I read chapter 4 and I read chapter 40. So I'm missing a lot of context and going off of my own memory. But I really like this book. I really like it. It feels lived in a way that the first Percy Jackson series kind of doesn't, because Rick Riordan was still like finding his footing as an author. And I like the subtle intertwinings into Percy Jackson that I think we start to get in this book. If I'm wrong, cut this. And I don't know, it's like him really defining what this project that he's spent the last 20 years working on is, and I like it.
Awesome.
It's fun.
It's very good. Yeah. I think you were also on for 2 Sadie chapters.
Yes, I did
And
that intentionally.
Oh, good.
I love
Okay.
Sadie. I
'Cause
love
that was
Sadie
gonna
with my
be
whole heart.
The next question: Are you a Carter girly or a Sadie
She
girly?
She is such a girl boss. She deserved to be gay.
You're so right.
Correct.
No spoilers, but she deserved to be gay.
I think she's bi. That's just me.
Absolutely. Have you seen? She dyed her hair as a 12-year-old and kept it that way.
Right? She's got queer vibes.
The age gap between them is strange.
Yeah.
She's 12 in this book? Or 14?
She's 12.
She's 12.
Okay.
And currently she's got crush on Anubis.
That's
and he's
strange. Some strange
16?
things are gonna happen.
Question mark?
He's 16 going on 3 million. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
It's interesting.
Sadie's my favorite. I love her cat. I love Bast separately from loving the cat.
Yeah, they are separate people.
Yeah, absolutely. The cat's name
animals.
is Meatloaf?
Muffin.
I was close. But yeah, Sadie being British is such a fun little twist. I don't know. I'm thinking about all these things in later books, and I'm like,
I'm sorry. You can't spoil the listeners or Raye, because Raye doesn't know anything.
Yeah.
So Raye, at the end of the last book in the Heroes of Olympus, Zeus dies.
Oh, yay!
Yeah, Zeus gets straight up stabbed through the heart.
God, if Rick did that, I think we would all give him a medal.
Rick should write a series that's just like, yeah, all the gods die in weirdly violent and graphic ways.
Rick just rewrites fucking Kratos. What are those games?
God of War?
Yeah.
There you go.
Just go around murdering gods. It'd be great.
All right, how do y'all feel about the book? What's the vibe around here?
I've been feeling very positively about this book. I really, really enjoy it. I do have some structural issues with it. I think that this chapter, like, we've had so many of these short little build-up chapters, and then this one is fucking jam-packed. So many things occur right now really quickly.
I mean, this book, we all know it's very long.
Yes.
And it's long for, like, the world building and, like, the setup and everything. And it's just, like, it feels like it takes so long to get in certain places.
Yeah. So coming to this chapter, I've really enjoyed all of that build-up. I've really enjoyed the way that the tension is built. I've really enjoyed the way that things have been going. And then this one's kind of an anticlimax for me. Like, and I mean, that's pretty much intentional. Like, there are ways that this has gone that, you know, are meant to be kind of a rug pull if you haven't, like, picked up on certain things. But at the same time, it's like, it just feels too quick to me, this specific chapter.
I was so shook by how nothing the reveal of Apophis is.
Yeah. Okay, are you guys ready for me to read you my little notes here? Because
yes, tell us about the chapter. What did we read?
So that we can discuss this more with the audience. All right, Sadie, I ruin a rather important spell. She does. She does do that. Full marks, Rick. It's fun, it's intriguing, it's accurate. Okay, this one's long because so many fucking things happen. All right. Sadie finally joins Carter and Set, and she does her thing that we talked about 2 chapters ago. It turns out that the battle cry was Washington, D.C. With Isis's power, Sadie can open a portal even during the demon days, and she takes the whole pyramid with her to the Washington Monument. Carter can take Set now that they're out of the desert and buy a monument. So Sadie, she gets to reading that spell that defeats him. The spell is going really good, but Sadie hears her mom tell her to keep her head on a swivel, and she notices there's a big evil snake in the sky. She uses the Feather of Truth so that everyone else can see Apophis, and then it turns out that Face of Horror was a double agent the whole time, and Carter and Sadie, they tell Set that he needs to calm down and start being useful, and he's like, sure, I'll do that, wink. And then post-battle, Amos is not doing so well, and Zia is fucking dying, but maybe it's fine because she was actually a Shabti the whole time, and the real Zia is asleep somewhere. Desjardins, he's pissed about everything that just happened. To prove a point to him, Carter and Sadie give up their god powers. He is very shocked Pikachu face about it, but he still isn't cool with them. And then we run from the cops.
Hell yeah.
Yay! A-caps.
Yeah.
I don't understand why the aftermath of the battle is not a separate chapter from Carter's perspective. I don't know why we don't get Carter's inner thoughts to the Zia play thing.
Yeah.
That's where the stakes for that are.
I mean, there is one more chapter. I don't remember how exactly that goes. because
I'm sure that we
it
will
is going to
get
be
some
it is Carter's
Carter.
POV.
Yes, I checked.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming we're going to get some of those thoughts in there, but it's still like,
And with the challenge that the French bitch levels against Carter being like, you want my throne, you can't have it. Sadie's not the focal point of that interaction.
Yeah, that's true.
Sadie's
too.
not the focal point of any of the like little aftermath bits.
Yeah. This could have actually, as much as like the format is a lot of like short chapters, this could have been another short chapter of, you know, Sadie's little bit of like, I'm a goddess of magic. It's my favorite part of the chapter, by the way. I can do whatever I want. And then it gets to Carter's POV of like him versus Michelle, as I'm calling him, because he doesn't deserve me calling him by his last name. It's Desjardins.
Ew.
Yeah, I'm like, you're Michelle. Actually, that's your name now, because it is. We could have had that in Carter's POV. We could have had the Zia thing in Carter's POV. This actually would have done well with the, you know, short chapter format.
Right.
And like, it wouldn't have even been that short. This chapter was what, like 14 pages? We've been having like 5-page chapters. Like,
yeah, exactly. We could have done that again.
I
but
feel like Rick like got to this chapter, realized it was number 40, went, ah shit, I've got to wrap this up, because the book, we keep talking about how long this book is. It's got a lot of chapters. It is less than 400 pages.
right.
it is still the longest of the trilogy.
For sure.
Like, it's still like middle grade. Like,
For sure. It's not a short book, but it's not like Lord of the Rings.
Okay, the next book has 24 chapters, and the one after has 22.
What was he doing here?
Just so you know that he figured out how to do this better. And then in Heroes, it's worse.
Heroes,
and we'll figure that out when we get to
has
it.
pacing problems.
Yeah, but you know,
Straight up.
I think two narrators is enough.
What about 7?
No,
Sounds great. Let's do it.
Sorry.
Okay.
9?
9.
Maybe it's 9.
9.
Great.
Okay. I can't even now. I've just been broken. Do y'all want to talk about a myth thing?
Oh my gosh,
do
yes,
that?
I do.
'Cause I have-
No, I'm good.
I finally have a myth thing. It's been several chapters that I haven't really had anything, and
Maybe
now
the
I'm
chapters
like,
are too short.
yeah, that, and there's not as much for Egyptian mythology things that he's pulling from as he does with Greek. I feel like there's just
Right. Well,
there's just a lot less.
it's a change in like the format also, because part of the Greek things was like going on adventures and like meeting new stuff like constantly. And this one is less that.
Yeah.
It's less of a odyssey, for lack of a better term.
And as you and I found out, there's like a lot less Egyptian monsters in general, because that's
true,
just
too.
not their thing. So
And also we have less information because it's an older mythology.
exactly what I'm thinking. It's more that we just have less information on it. But for now, in case you missed it, let's talk about Apophis, also known as Apep, also known as Aphof. I don't like that one.
Correct.
That one sounds wrong.
That's my favorite.
And I mean Aphof with PHOPH.
I kind of love it.
Why?
The best way to spell that. I'm going to change my name again to Aphof.
Aphof.
Okay. Have fun with that. He embodies darkness and disorder, you know, the opposite of Ma'at, which does actually have a name, which doesn't often get named. It's called Isfet. That's just
Hell yeah.
I love that.
So he's the opponent of like Ma'at and technically Ra, because Ra's like the bringer of light and order and everything.
Ra's ancient enemy.
Yeah. And he is just big old snake guy, literally just snack, not even a guy.
Which I think is really interesting that he's not a guy. I feel like that also makes sense if you think of like humanity and culture as like part of order.
Yeah. Just all the other gods are a guy. He's not.
Yeah. Everyone else is like descended from Ra, more or less, right? Dude was like the first.
Yeah. And Apophis, his parents are either Nun or sometimes Neith, who like, she's a creator goddess. She sometimes created everything, I think. think. So that makes sense. But also, none means he came about, like, just like Ra did. Like, they just come about from nothing, you know?
Right.
Out of that eternal
You know,
chaos, yeah.
It's interesting, like, I don't think of Apophis as a god, but, like, it does say, like, deity here. I guess I think of Apophis as, like, an entity.
Yeah. I definitely would have classified him as more of an entity, but like, what else can you call him exactly?
Right.
Also, his siblings are usually Nun or Ra, I assume, if he's created by Neith. And Sobek! Remember that guy?
I remember
That's
that
the
guy.
crocodile guy. Yeah, again, it's because of the Neith thing. I guess those are just the only gods who were created by her.
Huh.
Yeah, so Apophis is the enemy of Ra and the Lord of Chaos. The serpent from the Nile and the evil dragon. Ooh.
Hell yeah. Is there a, like, equivalent figure in Greek mythos? Not really.
I mean, he specifically doesn't even have one on here, which is interesting. Like, yeah, so
It's like, Apophis, his, like, most famous name is Greek.
Yeah, I mean,
All
that
the
is something with, like,
conquering.
yeah, a lot of them, like, Apophis is specifically his Greek name, Apep is his ancient Egyptian name. You can usually tell by, like, what we call the gods, how, like, old they are as well, and everything, like, based on the translations
If they
we
got
have
an
from
Egyptian
them.
name, they're
Yeah.
old.
I think you mean if they got a Greek one.
No. Ancient Egyptian is older.
I mean, yes. I think they also all got Egyptian names, but, you know.
I mean, sure.
I love this. It needs a citation here, but it says that some elaborations said he stretched 16 yards in length and had a head made of
so
flint.
Specific.
That is very specific, and I need your citation, sir.
That's so specific.
Where is this said?
Well, Wikipedia is a reliable source for everything.
Oh, obviously. Correct.
Yeah.
I think Rick's version is bigger than 16 yards.
No,
I
probably
do
not.
too. Just a little bit.
Maybe a little smaller, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
Couple feet in length.
Oh,
Tiny little guy.
The one where he was made by Neith, he's 120 yards long, and also
He is.
It was made out of spit.
Yeah. Neith creates him from spit.
The few descriptions of the origin of Apophis in myth usually demonstrate that it was born after Ra, usually from his umbilical cord. Thank you, everyone.
Fascinating.
That's
also,
what I was about to say, and I'm just like, what?
No, I think that makes sense and is cool and interesting. I don't like it.
It is. Like, it's also interesting. It's also terrible to think about. I don't like it, but it's also interesting. Oh my goodness.
What if your umbilical cord was evil and wanted to kill you?
It is.
I mean,
That's why
sometimes
it gets killed.
It
sometimes
does.
they are. Sometimes they are wrapped around your neck, you know? And then you come out of the body, and then you're blue, and...
Rob is a C-section. We all know this.
God.
Probably. I mean, he did, spring forth from the primeval waters, right? No?
That sounds like a surgery.
A C-section?
All right. Bye, everyone. It's been nice.
I love
I've
doing
been
this.
murdered.
All right, so Ra and Apophis battle like all the time, like every fucking day. Yeah. So there's
called
different
a truce.
Like
in World War
I don't
One.
think so.
Like a Christmas truce. Like,
yeah.
They're like, brother.
Like when the Nile floods, they like, oh, hey.
With the fact that this book starts out on Christmas, they definitely didn't call a Christmas truce.
No, I mean, does anything happen on Christmas? Nothing Apophis related.
Of course not.
That's all set.
I feel like that's the first time we see Apophis. It's like Christmas Eve.
No, you're wrong. I have no proof.
All right, I'll believe you for now.
Thank you.
Until you're proven otherwise.
I'm inherently trustworthy. Look at me.
Look at that face.
This is why our episodes with you last 2 hours long.
Well, it can't this time. I have therapy.
Hell yeah. Okay.
Plot twist. This is your therapy.
This is like the opposite of therapy.
This is the opposite of therapy. This is giving you mental illness.
This is therapy for me. I'm just saying.
You should go to therapy.
I do actually. Whether I have the money for it or not. All right.
Money is not important.
So, Apophis waits for Ra on a mountain. Maybe. But also maybe it's in the underworld. It's very unclear. The sun is set and okay, I think he's in the Duat. It's really weird how all of this is worded and thinking about it with Rick's world building. I don't know how any of this works. But Ra and Apophis usually fight at night. And I know it's like there's something about solar eclipses that's also like the Apophis is eating the sun or whatever, right?
Yeah,
I know
there's
that's
some,
one of the
like,
stories.
Yeah, Apophis like temporarily swallows the guy, and then Ra's like fighting to get out.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and then that's he's traveling through the snake's body, and then he comes
Yeah.
back. Yeah.
Whoops.
And it's like, yay, he's back.
And then it's like, oh no, he's in the snake again.
I love these little like italics things where it's like Apophis is on the western mountain called Manu, where the sun sets, and he was in the 10th region of the night.
I'm sure that
And he got the
there's a reason
title
it's formatted
World
like that.
Encircler. Excuse me, World Encircler, that is a different mythology. That is from Norse. That's Jormungandr, the world serpent. So actually,
Shout out to
Maybe they're best
Egyptian
friends.
priests. Shout out to Egyptian priests keeping a detailed guide to fighting Apophis. The books of overthrowing Apep. The gradual process of dishonoring, dismemberment, and disposal is spitting upon him, defiling him with the left foot, not the right, taking a lance to smite him, fettering him, just putting him in chains, taking a knife to smite Apophis. Why are we smiting twice? And putting fire upon Apophis.
Yeah.
I love
and,
this. I love it.
apparently you would make wax models or little pictures of him, and then you would do that stuff. You spit on him and you mutilate him and stuff. Just to
I love that you can spit on him.
You can spit on anything.
But like he's also sometimes made of spit.
So spitting on him gives him more power.
God.
But also it doesn't, because that's how you overthrow him, right?
That's
how
just step one. You have to make him more powerful so that he gets cocky, and then you can defile him with your left foot.
The fact that it's like defile him.
I mean, it could be very literal. I don't know, and I don't think I
don't
want
know
to.
either.
This is maybe the first time that I've seen the word smite used in reference to a like mortal doing it.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
generally god shit.
I mean, maybe I don't know.
No, I've seen it used. I think it's just kind of an old-fashioned like word for like slay, sort of. But and then because it's old-fashioned and gets used with gods a lot, like we associate it with that. I don't know.
think you have to be a paladin to smite him, though. I think that's the rule specifically. Only paladins get smite. Yeah. Also, this page actually has the picture that we see in the fucking book of the cat with the knife.
Oh, fun.
Hell yeah.
You see that? And guess who the cat is? It's Ra.
No,
It's fucking Ra in the form of a great cat.
There's a whole cat goddess, everyone.
There is.
There's a whole cat goddess. What are we doing?
So I'm very confused. It's just like, oh yeah, sometimes this is Ra, or sometimes this is the Eye of Ra. But you know,
What is Ra if not a giant cat?
why doesn't he let his cat ladies do it instead? Because they're really cool.
His cat ladies are too busy drinking milk.
True. Or is it
Checkmate.
salsa?
Or beer.
No, just milk.
Can you drink salsa?
If you're powerful enough.
Yeah.
If you got that throat game.
Horrifying.
Oh my goodness. Also, another one of Apophis's names is Eater of Souls. He is Soul Eater.
Nom nom.
God.
If that's what happens after death, your soul gets eaten by a giant fucking snake. I don't want to kill myself anymore.
Yo, no, the dead are buried with spells that could destroy Apophis? That's sick.
Oh, so that if he comes and eats them, then he'll die?
Yeah, I love
Nice.
that. Just like resurrect me as a zombie, and it's like, yo, dude, I got the spell to defeat him. Let's do this thing.
What if you die and then there's a snake who's supposed to eat your soul, and he's like, "Sorry guys, I'm on a diet. I've already eaten."
Then you can die it instead.
You didn't think that joke all the way through.
No, that was part of the joke. Is it being
Got
really
about
cringe.
halfway through it and then realized you didn't know what the punchline was.
That was part of it. Okay,
That's part of it.
chapter.
Chapter.
I hear this in Sadie's voice. I ruin a rather important spell.
I was also thinking rather. I don't know. I can't do an
rather
accent for real.
important.
I ruin
But-
a rather important spell.
Yeah, it feels British
It
somehow.
does. Good job, Rick. You did it once. You made the Britishisms work. According to most Brits that read this book, they do not work.
Well, who cares about them?
So, since Sadie is hanging out with Isis right now, she can see the regular plane and the duat like at the same time. So she gives us a little new perspective on this battle.
Hanging out.
Yeah, you know, just having some girl time.
No, I love anytime there's a depiction of, like, in the seen and unseen world at once. They do it a little bit in Lord of the Rings. They do it here. There's another one I'm thinking of, but I can't remember where it's from. And that shit's so cool.
I love how
There's,
she
like,
describes
moments-
it too.
There's moments in this chapter where I was like, oh, that's so sick. And then we just move on.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Rick's sitting here being like, what if? All right, next.
Yeah, she sees like a crocodile with eyes at water level, seeing both below and above the surface.
That's very good.
It's so good. She does in
So
fact see
cool.
Carter like he's a glowing like hawk guy, or falcon guy, sorry. I always say hawk. He's a glowing falcon guy.
So yeah, there's him as, you know, his avatar, and then like there's Horus in the duat, and he's actually just like a falcon guy.
Yeah, and Set is a blender on fire.
Yeah.
Blender of sand on fire. I love that.
Me too, bro.
Do we get duat descriptions of the House of Life magicians? Do they register?
She
Apparently
doesn't.
not.
Yeah, she doesn't say anything about Michelle later. I don't think so.
Those are just guys.
It's not important.
Just men.
Yeah, exactly. Not important. So. Yeah, so Sadie's like, wow, I can feel all this power rushing through me. And you know what? Set, we're not gonna fight you alone in the desert. That's right. We're back to that scene that I was loving 2 chapters ago. I was like, can't wait for it. This is my favorite part of the book. Okay? And Sadie's like, Washington, D.C. Slam staff.
Go to the fucking Washington Monument, the most boring of the DC monuments.
I think
It's an obelisk.
She's trying to get them far away, and that's probably the most powerful, like, object in America. So
that is what it explicitly says, that it's the like center of Ma'at in North America.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I don't know if I buy that.
Are you sure that the
I don't
president
know if
is
I
a
buy
force
that.
of Ma'at in the world? Because I don't feel like
Maybe there are some, like, indigenous structures that could be a more interesting choice.
If they have Egyptian shapes,
there are pyramids in Central America.
there you go.
So
Which is-
many.
It depends on how much you want to call that.
many.
North
It's
America,
North
or
America.
South America, Central America.
If it's
They are
like
part of the North American
of,
continent. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm
If it's
like
like
getting
north
distracted.
of Panama,
Right.
Panama, I would call it North America.
There you go. There you go. You could have used some of those things, but you know what? We're sticking with the U.S. because this is what we know, and we have been here before in this book, so it's a callback.
USA.
It's a callback.
USA.
It's I just I don't particularly like that. Like there does feel like they don't even like talk about DC as a place really. We're just talking about the monument, but it feels like there's like weird implications about the USA like being a force of Ma'at from that. I don't know. I don't really
here's
like
the
it.
thing about the Washington Monument. It's on a hill. It's on like a giant hill. And it's surrounded by this like weird green perfect circle of grass and trees and so many American flags.
Yeah, I don't really care about all that.
And also, if you're doing weird shit in the sky in DC, you're getting shot by a plane
They're gonna fucking
Immediately.
get you.
in like 5 minutes. Like, you don't have time.
This is magic and god shit, so nobody can see them. Clearly.
But then emergency services are pulling up, so clearly someone can see something.
Well, that's
So
because
I'm just
they
like,
let go of their gods. So
How big is this pyramid? You know what I mean?
I feel like is it like Washington Monument size? Because in that case, where the fuck does it go? If it's smaller, why?
I thought it was just like pieces of it.
So it explicitly says that it's on the National Mall, and I'm like looking at, when I Google the National Mall, I do get there is like grass. There's a lot of trees.
There's a lot of stuff.
It is on a
There's
hill.
like-
The slope isn't very. I think that you could maybe fit a pyramid somewhere in there.
I guess
I just don't know exactly where.
you would like have to crush a lot of trees.
Yeah. And I was thinking, like, the moment that they teleported and it was like, the pyramid is now over here, I'm like, did you not, like, crush and kill people doing that?
Right? Like, the National Mall is never empty. There's also parts of it that are, like, weird, like, stone gravel. Like, some, like, decently large swaths. So I think it would be funny if it was on that and then the pyramid was just, like, really unstable.
I want to know why we transported the pyramid, actually.
Yeah, that is not normally how that works.
I mean,
Spooky.
I feel like it would have been enough to just transport him
I
like
don't
away
know,
from it,
because
away from his
because
source
the
of power.
pyramid was gonna do a thing.
Yeah, I think
But-
the spell on the pyramid was already going.
Still,
Like, I think to stop whatever the pyramid was doing, it had to leave the desert.
probably. I don't know, man. I'm
Yeah.
just here.
Has been
I
hosting
just
the
love-
Rick Riordan podcast for years. I don't know, man.
That's just kind of like the gist of reading Rick Riordan books is like, I don't know what's happening. I'm just existing.
Neither
I don't know
Hey.
where this pyramid goes on this lawn. I don't know how Percy Jackson got into the river from falling off the St. Louis Arch.
Oh my god, it's the St. Louis Arch all over again. Oh my goodness. But I love this part specifically because at first nothing happens. And Set's like, Magic 101, Sadie, you can't open a portal during the demon days.
Why is he so funny with it? I don't. Rick,
He's
for
so
real.
gay.
Has-
He's so gay.
Yeah. I almost,
He's real
almost
homosexual.
called him a slur.
I mean, he probably deserves it.
Well,
A gay slur.
That is absolutely is the thing.
Yes,
And
correct.
he like 100% smokes cigarettes like too much.
Which are
like a
also called
problem.
the same term.
Yeah,
God.
yeah, absolutely.
But
Oh god,
Sadie,
Sadie. That's what Sadie calls cigarettes.
yes, exactly. She does.
That's hilarious.
So,
Is this equally unintelligible as the last time?
always. So
Great.
Sadie is able to do this because she is now partially Isis, therefore a goddess of magic, so she can do whatever the fuck she wants in the demon days.
Hell yeah.
Because Thoth did the same thing earlier in the book. I love that we're bringing things back that
Yeah, we
Thoth
sure are.
said.
Can other gods do that, or just the gods of magic, do we think?
I would assume just the gods of magic, because that's what Thoth says specifically.
And because
So
I don't know. I guess Set said Sadie Kane can't do that, but like maybe he also can't do that.
I would assume he can't. Yeah. He's having a temper tantrum. He's real mad. Yeah, we don't know how the pyramid is fitting in the National Mall, but it's here. And
Maybe it replaced the obelisk.
No, they say that that's still there. It's powering Carter.
yeah, it is. I'm so glad that like that happens, that it's able to like give him back some of his, divine power somehow. Because that's the thing.
Does Apophis like curl himself around the monument at some point, or did I make that up because it's a cool visual?
That is such a good visual.
I
It's now
feel
canon
like
to me.
if that's a thing, it's probably at Cleopatra's Needle. something.
Well,
Could be.
yeah, maybe.
I love Set being like so mad, like, I will rend your limbs from your sockets. I will die, Carter suggested.
And
like,
then just fucking swords him right in the chest.
it's like,
Carter
fuck you, dude.
is so the all-American boy. Good for him.
He's just a little guy.
Carter, speaking, where is my little guy? You know, my shy little guy who was, remember earlier in this book when Carter was like, I can't disobey people or say anything rude, and now he's just like, actually, fuck this guy, I'm going to stab him.
He's like, die, bitch.
They've had a rough, what's it been, a week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not even.
They've had a rough
Like 3 days.
4 days.
4 days. 5 days. It's unclear.
It's not. If we
it's
were
actually
smart.
very clear.
They haven't even left the denial phase of grief.
Well, yeah, because they're in Egypt. They're not in
literally not.
Okay, Carter, he's beating the fuck out of Set, and he's like, hey Sadie, do your thing with the book, and she's like,
The
oh
book?
right.
What book? Oh yeah, it's the Book of Overcoming Set. That's part of our fetch quest.
So funny that his true name here is Evil Day.
What a name.
That's so
He was-
funny. That's the name?
That's,
He was
yeah.
born on the evilest day ever, December 29th.
Your child is born and you're looking at him and you're going, this looks like an evil day.
I mean, that's not the name that she gave her child. That's just the name that he was imbued
The
with.
universe?
She named him
Yeah.
Set.
I don't know how you get a true name. I guess it just,
Yeah.
when you're born,
I think
yeah.
it's the name that you're given when you're born. I
think
think
it's
that's
your-
the only way that
It's
that
your
makes
Christian name.
sense. Well, yes, it's your baptismal name, everyone. Trans people suck it.
God.
No, trans people change their Christian names. Therefore, we are too powerful.
And must be killed.
Oh, goodness. Okay.
I'm also trans. That feels important.
What? No way. All right. Yeah, so Sadie's she's speaking all of these divine words and about like the creation of everything, yada yada yada. It's not really important because it's probably in Egyptian. So Rick's not gonna translate that
words,
much.
Spells.
Spell things
Magic.
happening. There's a white sheen over the world. It's reinforcing Ma'at, expelling the chaos, and
Pyramids breaking. Pretty good.
Set's being torn to shreds. Okay.
We do a little torture for fun.
The feather of truth is glowing. And, like, he's no longer fiery. Now he's, like, black-skinned and slimy. Like, the Set animal.
I did
Fish.
not imagine the Set animal as a slimy creature.
No,
Me
I
neither.
imagined it as either furry or incredibly smooth.
Yeah, I could imagine it as like a weird hairless dog. But,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you
Okay,
know,
hairless dog. Yeah.
so in the middle of all that, Sadie hears her mother's voice say, "Stay focused, dearest, watch for your enemy." And Isis did not get what that meant, but Sadie figured it out.
Yeah. I wonder what
was
that
like-
means.
What?
Hey, how come her mom can do that? Just like remnants of her soul in Isis or something?
I mean, it could also just be like she's part goddess at this moment. Like, there's a lot
And
of
she's
other things that
connected
could
to
be
the
leaking
duat.
through.
Yeah, that could be some.
That could be something. I don't know.
Hard to say,
But,
honestly.
She names him Evil Day.
Hell yeah.
And before she can say the last line, she realizes what the words mean. Watch for your enemy. Is it Set? I mean, he does fucking suck, right?
He does suck. Set does absolutely suck. But maybe we have bigger snakes to fry.
Yeah.
Bigger snakes to defile with her left foot.
Maybe we have bigger snakes to defile with our left foot. It's hard to know, right?
Yeah, but there's like a shape forming in the clouds or whatever. It's like a reflection of a river. But it's a snaky snake. Ooh. Okay, with Sadie stopping this spell because she realizes that like something else is more important. You know what this reminds me of? What media this specifically reminds me of?
What?
Twitches 2. I was reminded of this when reading this chapter. I'm like, oh my god. It's like when they had to do that spell to like defeat the darkness once and for all, and then Alex was like, wait a second, our dad is also trapped in the shadows, so we can't fully defeat our evil uncle because we also have to save our dad.
That's like the opposite.
It is
Of what happens here.
It's the opposite of what happens here, but it's also the same thing because she
Yeah.
stops the spell
That's very funny.
and changes it so that they can save their dad. But in this, they do not save their dad, clearly.
We are just not thinking about Dad this whole chapter, by the way.
Not until the end. Not until the end, and then they're like, "Ah, fuck our dad."
It's like,
She's
well,
like,
it's too late now.
I don't have a dad. Don't know where he is. Not gonna think about that right now.
Not important.
I mean, Sadie already came to terms with it, kind of, ish, last
Sadie
chapter.
wasn't like all that terribly close with their dad, if I'm remembering correct.
Exactly.
What? No! But she wanted to be, guys. She wanted to have
I know
a
she wanted to
family.
be.
And she'll have to live with that forever.
Hey, she's got Amos. She just has to keep him alive.
Yeah, who knows how that's going.
Probably poorly.
So Sadie stops the spell, and Carter's like, hey, what the fuck, man? We were doing a thing. And
had
Set
a
is like trying to
whole
turn them
plan.
against each other.
We did a whole fetch quest for this spell.
Yeah, I do love Set being like, you see, Horus, Isis is a coward. She can never complete the deed. And it's like, okay, Horus probably does want to, like, you know, behead Isis again. And Carter's just like, come on, what's going on, Sadie?
Sadie,
Hello?
Carter's Loki, like, that's my sister.
You know, Horus is probably wanting to, like, behead everyone in the room or whatever, but Sadie is like, Carter's expression reminds me of when the two of us weren't close and we didn't know how to interact with each other whenever we, like, visited, like, once a year. And she's like, I don't want that distance anymore. I want us to be a family. And I'm like, they're siblings!
Yeah, sibling shit really, really gets me.
Yeah, it's good stuff. And you know what? I also love that Sadie just like throws the feather of truth at the snake in the sky, which like
Not knowing
breaks
if it will work.
not knowing what's gonna happen. I mean, maybe she
Well,
does.
I mean,
She's
she
Isis.
seems to be quite confident.
Maybe she does know. Again, who knows what goddess powers she has.
I think it's a pretty unearned confidence, honestly.
But the snake is visible for a moment, but it's enough for Carter to realize, oh shit.
There's a big snake up
Oh
there.
shit. Snaky snake. And it's face of horror. He's got his fangs bared. He's about to try to kill Sadie, and Carter's like, no.
You can't. It's
Sword.
illegal.
He threw sword, and now he's stab dead.
So, turns out that Face of Horror was just, like, a little piece of Apophis this whole time. And then when he was whispering, like, cool plans into Set's ears, it was all, like, a secret way to summon Apophis. And Set's like, what? No! That wouldn't happen to me.
Happens to the best of us, dude.
I love it. So it's just like, I am chaos. I am evil, though. It's like, no, you're still one of the gods, actually. You used to uphold Ma'at, like, more than anyone. You, like, literally served the king, Ra.
And fought off Apophis. That was, like, your job. What if you did that some more, please?
Yeah,
They don't say please.
we need
They
you.
say we'll stab you.
We will
Yeah.
stab you. This should be construed as a threat.
Yeah, it's like, we actually need you. And it's like, well, we might also need Ra, too. But, you know, Set, you're an important god, so we can't just destroy you forever. Let's trust each other. Do you think we can do that? Maybe? I have your secret name either way, so I can make you do what I want.
Yeah, I
Right,
super
like-
don't trust you, actually.
I would love to be able to trust you, dude.
No.
Just in case.
Yeah.
Just in case, for some reason, I can't.
Yeah, and then it's like, well, remember, we can't banish gods. Like, it didn't work when the House of Life tried it before, okay?
Right.
It wasn't a good idea. Let's not do better. Or let's do better. Let's not do
better.
this.
Let's try the same thing.
Let's not do this anymore. All right, and they make him swear by his name, the throne of Ra, and then he adds in his mother's starry elbows. I love.
Set is so funny.
He's really funny.
What a weird man.
He's a gay Disney villain, and I love that.
Yeah.
He's their fucked up gay uncle now. And yeah.
He is. He really is. But also, Isis is his favorite sister. So, oh my goodness.
You more than your wife, sir?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, too.
The familial relationships in this series get fucked so quickly.
Rick's just like, you know what? It's all fine because it's not incest, but it is incest, but it's also not. But like,
Don't worry about it.
It's
Rick
yeah.
stretching logic to make it so that the demigods and Percy Jackson
The gods don't have DNA. If the gods don't have DNA, then Annabeth definitely does not have a belly button. I'm just saying.
God.
I'm just saying. Yeah, so we get one last image of Set in the Duat. He's got his red armor, red skin, and his forked beard. But actually, he's a raging inferno. Ooh, he's gonna burn everything in his path.
He's so
hopefully in the direction that they point him in next time.
He's
and then
such a
he's
diva.
a pillar of salt.
I love him.
As you do.
Bye.
Yeah, Sadie is like, okay, get out of my house. Like,
Literally.
Fine, I guess.
So back to our,
our national mall. The snow is melted in a perfect square. There's magicians all around. They're passed out.
What
and
month
there's police
does this take
sirens.
place in? January?
December.
December.
It's
December?
it's still
No
December
shot.
29th.
No shot. Is there snow in DC in December? Sorry, everyone.
I mean, this was like 2010. There might have been.
Let's see.
There was a chance there was snow, 10 years ago.
In DC in 2010.
15 years ago. Oh,
I don't think there was.
I don't know.
I
know
could be wrong.
nothing.
It could be earlier than I think it was, but I don't know.
There's
It doesn't snow
police
until
coming. It's
yeah,
not good.
the cops, probably some
Yeah.
like military people too, because it's DC.
Sadie is able to like say a divine word to keep Amos calm, and it's as quiet is what it is.
Yeah,
It's a
That
sleep
was a
spell.
little-
Don't worry about it. That's
that
what
was
it
a
does.
little odd.
It's just a little odd. I get it. And that's all she can do for him right now. And then Zia, it says her skin is a strange reddish color. It's dry. It's brittle. I wonder, is she cracking maybe? I wonder what's going on there. So, in your first read of this book, did you see this plot twist coming?
No, I don't think so.
Definitely not I. There's no fucking way, man.
I feel like I might have.
I'm
I feel like I
still,
might have got this.
Insane about this. Like,
I think
Shanti
this
are
is-
so clearly people, my dudes.
I think this is one of Rick's best plot twists, actually.
Okay, so here's the thing: is that this plot twist is kind of horrifying.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is. In fact, it's very horrifying, but I think narratively wise, it's so well done.
It's
with
weirdly well executed for him.
Because we've had all this we had Zia doing the weird light thing earlier in the book when we
that's a
saw her.
very good hint, actually.
I
hadn't really
I tried
thought
to
about
focus
connecting
on that, and I'm like, that's
see.
weird. I don't know what's going on there. We had that happening earlier in the book, and then we had that happening again when Thoth had the other magicians. This is so well done, Rick. I applaud you on how good of a plot twist I think this is. And then, the whole Nephthys thing, it's oh yeah, where is Nephthys? What's going on there? But, Zia can communicate with real Zia. Shabti Zia versus Bio Zia, I guess. Yeah, they're communicating somehow, even though she's sleeping.
Only subconsciously, I think.
Right.
Yes. I mean, one of them is sleeping, so I assume that's the only
And
way
one
they
of
can
them
do it.
literally wasn't aware she was doing it before, so...
Right.
I just... Guys...
I love how fucked up it is, though, too.
Uh-huh.
Right? Because, Zia doesn't even know that she's not real. Shabti
Right.
Zia doesn't know, and then she figures out, she's
so
I don't matter,
fucked.
guys. I hope...
So fucked.
I hope you take her to that date at the mall.
She would like that.
It's fucked up, guys.
They never met
any-
the real Zia.
They've never
they
met
saw
the real
her-
Zia.
That
They've
one
made
time.
a relationship with this person who is not Zia. And Carter's like, okay, there's a Zia out there who's alive, so I'm fine. And I'm like, buddy, your girlfriend just died.
God, any form of semi-consciousness is so fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
It
I'm
shouldn't be
just-
legal to do that.
Yeah. No, for real, though. Egyptian magicians need to be stopped. We need laws.
I don't even remember why they did this to Zia.
It's because she was imbued with she was the host of Nephthys.
River Girly.
And it's like, well, she's in the House of Life. The House of Life would immediately know if she's hosting a god and destroy her for doing so.
The House of Life makes me feel crazy.
It's a cult.
And it makes me feel so crazy in relation to Percy Jackson and the relationship that our main characters have to the power dynamics in their world. Because, like, Percy Jackson ultimately is about state-sanctioned child soldiers, right?
Yeah.
And in
So is this.
in the Kane Chronicles, no, they're not state sanctioned. In the Kane Chronicles,
The
it's
state
like,
would like to kill them.
yeah. We got like a whole different relationship to the power structure of our mythological world. We've got like, because we have a power structure that is wholly human and is wholly divorced from the gods, but is just channeling that power. And that's so interesting to ground us in like a human institution.
I'm just thinking how Zia technically is a state-sanctioned child soldier, though.
Yeah, absolutely is a state-sanctioned child soldier.
So it's like we still have those.
Well, yeah, it's a crucial part of the genre. I'm not wrong.
It's just that our main characters are guerrilla child soldiers.
Exactly, you get it, and that's so interesting. And one of them is British, which is, you know,
She's only kind of British.
she would consider herself British.
I know.
She wasn't British enough for Britain. Got fucking
No.
deported.
She got fucking deported.
From Britain, where she'd lived for years.
Oh
Cracked
my goodness.
Britain.
Okay. Yeah, so Zia's a Shabti. She like cracks and dies, and it's real bad, guys.
Yeah.
It kind of fucking sucks. But we got all the information before.
Moving on, Desjardins, he's here.
Yeah.
We can see his
The-
boxers.
Bargained with Set? Excuse me?
I mean, in fairness, what they did was insane.
It was.
And had little to no planning behind it.
This
It
guy
was
was
done on a
about
whim.
to kill every person on the continent, and they were just like, just go home and chill out for a little while.
All right, take
I
a
mean-
time out. Remember our kind bodies.
They do have a leash on him.
They do.
So, you know, and okay, once again, we try talking to this fucking man, like, we need the gods. Once again, we have to relearn the old ways. And he
And, yeah.
still is just like, you have gods in you. How can I believe you? You're drunk with power right now.
Yeah, clearly you want the gods to be released because you are gods. You've been possessed.
And then they're like, what if we weren't?
And then they do the best fucking move once again. The end of this book, I think, is perfect.
Okay.
Interesting take.
I'm like, this is wild.
Like,
I
it's
don't
such...
know if I would say perfect.
like I said, the plot twist, perfect. The setup for Apophis being our real big bad and not Set actually being bad, I think is perfect. Like, we could have fought Set more, but again, do you really want to read more fight scenes?
No, he's not very good at writing them.
Exactly. So I think it was better to just like shorten that bit in Carter's chapters and then be like, okay, we're done with that now. It's Apophis. And then here we get rid of Horus and Isis to prove our point and really learn how to do our powers our own way, actually, because they know their limits. They've learned so much more than this crusty old man in front of them could ever.
See, the explanation here just doesn't quite work for me because they're like, we're gonna prove ourselves to Desjardins, but Desjardins doesn't give them anything for that. Like, he doesn't kill them immediately, but he's like, I hate your ass, keep away from the house, we're not gonna open the ways of the gods.
I think it's about a widening of his perspective.
It definitely is. But it's just, they get so little for giving up so much when they're about to be in so much danger. And I mean,
they're also...
like, narratively, I get it, but, like, tactically, it just doesn't, I don't know, it feels
Like,
so weird to me.
They would have had to give up that power anyway.
Because
Like,
they really
irregardless,
couldn't.
They could not hold all of that and remain themselves. That's like the interaction that Sadie has with Isis right at the end there.
Yeah, and I do like that Isis is like, you're really wise in doing this, actually.
Yeah.
You have to, like, you know, learn how to wield your own power your own way.
I feel like Rick just hasn't done enough with that to justify it for me. I don't know. that just doesn't click with
Fair.
me that well.
I mean, I think it could be expanded further. But I think as a like opening beat to show what this power is capable of and what our protagonists are working toward, it works.
I do feel like they did talk enough about how like much people lose themselves and much they can burn themselves out. I feel like that's been like the entire book.
But they
so
never
that's why
said
I'm
that
satisfied
in
with
terms of Carter and Sadie. They've always been like, you are the ones who can do this because you're blood of the pharaohs and you're so powerful.
And they would still be subsumed.
Yeah, and
but they
still
weren't
could
right
be.
now. Like I hear everything you're saying, but that's like explanations from earlier that like if you wanted to justify it to me, Rick would have needed to bring that back and like make that clear right now, I guess. So other things that happen.
Sirens are coming as they're telling us to end the episode soon. Yeah, and
they're just people
Desjardins lets them go.
Yeah.
Kind of. We have to get Amos to safely and maybe turn him into a mouse. That's kind of how they end that, which is funny to me.
Yeah, they're like, we need to make him small so that we can take our sleeping uncle out of here and, yeah, get away from the military police,
force
probably.
him into a small thing because he did that to us, but as clouds. I don't like it.
He's asleep. He's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Isabelle, the people, they would
Tell
love
people.
to hear about you.
Oh, sure. I am many things. I am a musician. I'm a theatrical lighting designer and stage manager. I also recently am a peer support specialist. So if you are in Portland, Oregon and need any of those things, hit me up. I am online pretty much anywhere at Kane_I. That's EYE, like the body part. And take your meds, go to therapy. I don't know.
Hell yeah. Do you have a
That's a
plug
great
real
plug.
quick before you go?
Do I have what?
A media plug, something you've been enjoying
media
recently.
Plug. Watch Andor. Watch Andor.
Yeah?
It's really good.
I've been seeing people talking about it.
It is an extraordinary show. I'm trying to get my partner to watch it, and he is like not a sci-fi person, and I'm like, okay, but it's only kind of sci-fi. It's like a grounded spy thriller about the work it takes to build a rebellion against fascism, which might be for some reason relevant to our current political climate. I don't know, hard to say.
Yeah, perhaps.
But yeah, that's me. I wrote the music for this show.
And we love you for it.
Congratulations.
Yeah, she did. Media, again, I've been watching more YouTube.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I've been watching a lot of ColeyDoesThings. Again, I'm just like going back into all the YouTubers that I follow and being like, wow, I missed a bunch of your content from the past couple of years because I haven't been paying attention. Let's just watch all of that instead of adding it to my watch later.
Good for you. I don't really have anything. I will also say take your meds. I'm on a new med recently. It's starting to go somewhere, so that's where we're at.
Well, get the fuck out of my house alive. Take your meds, guys.
Okay.
Take your meds.
Take your meds.
Bye. Of the Eldest Gods would like to thank its $10 and up patrons. This means you're either in the Savior of Olympus tier or the God Complex tier on our Patreon, patreon.com/oftheeldestgods. Thank you all so much for your support, especially Matt, our God Complex patron.
You can follow this podcast socials at Of the Eldest Gods Pod on Instagram and Tumblr. You can send us a message through the Duat to oftheeldestgodspod@gmail.com. If you'd like to support us financially, join us at patreon.com/oftheeldestgods. By becoming a patron, you can join the Deus Ex Media Discord server, where you'll be able to chat with us and other listeners about the Riordanverse or whatever else. Our $5 patron tier also gets you access to Against All Odds, our monthly bonus show. There, we'll talk about a wide variety of topics, which usually have something to do with mythology, no promises. You can check out our merch store on Redbubble to find custom designs made by Charlie. Or if you cannot or do not want to support us financially, we'd really appreciate a rating, a review, or letting your friends and followers know how much you love the podcast. That really helps. If you want to hear more from me, Raye, check out my If you want to hear more from me, Raye, check out Barbie Movie Slap, a podcast where my co-host Ted and I discuss Barbie's cinematic universe. That podcast's Twitter is at Barbie Slaps.
You can follow me, Charlie, at GreenPixie12 on most platforms. I also have an art Instagram at GreenPixieDraws. You can also hear my voice on 2 other podcasts. I co-host another podcast on the network with the meme maker Robert called The Bits, where we talk about the Cartoon Network show Steven Universe. I also co-host a non-network podcast with my buddy Ethan called Mysteries in the Machine, where we talk about all things Scooby-Doo. Our music was created and produced by Isabelle Strauss-Riggs. You can find Isabelle at Kane I, that's I is in the body part, on Instagram and Twitter. She also currently makes video essays on the YouTube channel Kane I. Feel free to message her about making music for your project or editing your podcast.
Of the Eldest Gods is based on the series by Rick Riordan. Right now we are discussing The Kane Chronicles. Remember to follow us on your favorite podcatcher and meet us back here every Thursday.
I'm Christina Kahn.
And I'm Leela Hilton,
And this is Burn Before Reading,
the podcast about shiterature.
We're here to examine the terrible writing we did when we were younger.
Like that school project you were really proud of.
Or that poem you wrote when you got dumped.
Well, how about that apology letter you wrote to your mom when you got into that fight?
Or the song you recorded before you knew how to write music.
Okay, don't at me. And we're here to talk about other cringy literary topics along the way.
Like the Library of Alexandria.
And Dewey Decimal.
His name was Melville Dewey.
Oh, well, do we want to get the clips rolling?
I don't think I ever recovered from this in terms of being cool.
Why did I say any of this?
I do like the drama.
So there is actually quite a bit to unpack here.
Oh, all this drama was so addictive as a teenager.
There's no punctuation to it. I'll start with that.
I actually have no memory of this.
There were so many lies that I was telling it.
It's not terrible.
No one really taught me how to write a good short story.
That was a journey.
Listen to Burn Before Reading
Every Wednesday, wherever pods are cast.
I just realized I need to have blue hair so that the 3 of us can have.
Oh, so we do the bisexual flag?
Yeah, we can have the bi flag because we have purple, we have pink, and I'm just here with red, and it's.
Well,
I'm not mad. I need to,
figure it
fit
out.
The vibe. I need to fit the vibe.
Having your natural hair color.
For shame.
I don't dye my hair specifically because this is the hardest hair color for people to get.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
you're like a shiny Pokemon as you are. Why would you change it?
Yeah, exactly.
Dave X Media.